Hello, welcome back. This is our second week in this new month of things that we're doing. So this is episode 2, and yeah, we've got a little bit of something different. So Emma, tell us what we're doing.
Okay. Yeah, tell us all what we're doing.
Tell us all.
Um, yeah, it's book chat week this
Mm,
week. So we're going to be talking about lots of different book things like what we've been reading and chat that's come up in like book communities, news, that kind of thing.
yeah,
Um, yeah, it's I've got a list of few. Did you get any like
I got some bits and
topics?
pieces that kind of they may
Yeah.
bounce off some of the ones that we discussed
I
previously,
I would
but
imagine so.
yeah,
I mean,
they
I think
always
this
do.
is the thing that I was realizing when I was writing my list of what kind of has happened in January in the romance and romantasy communities and stuff
Hmm.
like that, is that you get a lot of recurring things that come up.
Oh,
And some of them I expect we're not going to want to go into too
no.
deep, but also, I don't know, like the other day there was there was one of these topics that we're going to hit, and I was like, should I write? Oh, should I do a threads? Because we've started a threads,
Mm.
and like give our kind of little opinion. But then I was also like, well, this is my opinion. This isn't Jess's opinion
This is
necessarily.
an opinion.
This is an opinion. Um, Maybe I'll just leave that.
Yeah,
We'll just have a little
we'll
chat
discuss it here.
on the podcast about it, and yeah, kind of I find it really hard as well because you come in, don't you? You see a whole bunch of people saying stuff that might be people that you follow or that the algorithm's telling you are, you know, people you'd like, but you don't necessarily always see where it started. So people are
No.
arguing about points that may not even have been in the very first
Yeah, the first
issue, the
instance of
thing
it.
that,
Yeah.
yeah, the instigating or problem.
But then the more you watch the one side, so if you watch the whole video of one bit, then you start getting the other side filtered out as well. It's really, you have to
Yeah,
literally
this
go
is
and
it.
seek. So,
Yes, it's tricky business.
okay, so do we want to give the first one not a huge amount of a moment, but just mention it and then gloss over it because we'll talk about it probably next January when it comes up again?
Yeah, yeah. Or
About us,
February. Yeah,
yeah,
or
about us going outside. We've been out, we've touched grass. We didn't like touching grass very much, even though we have to do
hmm
it all the time. So we came back and picked up more romantic books.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's it.
if we just leave it there, even
Is that what
that's what I
you're
saw.
happy
Yeah,
to cover
what?
it as?
Yeah, I saw that Brandon Sanderson had even come out and went,
Oh,
"Romance is
really?
good. Stop being idiot." So that's I don't
It's
need any
like
more than that at the
I
moment.
think that's it. I think it's a whole coverall and it's kind of fitting that it's February that we're doing this because
Hmm.
every February, if you're a romance reader or a romance writer, you know there's going to be a ton of articles that come out just slamming romance in whatever way they
In
can.
the most lovey-dovey month of the
There's
year, let's
too
just
much
have a go.
spice, and then it's not enough spice, or but a lot, or the books they're talking about literally have none in them,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
something. And then, but equally, what's the problem? Because people have sex, It's like
Oh my gosh.
I don't understand. That's the reason we're all here right now. Yeah.
Yes.
And yeah, and then there's the whole thing about, oh, it's because women write it, but no, there
Oh,
are women in fantasy too, and
yes.
it's the same old, same old.
Same old, same
But
stuff, different day.
I mean, obviously, it's very clear we like all kinds of different fantasy romance
Mm,
and sci-fi romance and stuff.
mm.
And romantasy is kind of new. It kind of came about as we were doing this.
Yes, it's got bigger and grown stronger.
So, yeah, it's all the definition stuff. And part of what I was going to put in that thread was the fact that it's like the definitions are about marketing at the end of the day. Just find the kind of books you like. And if you don't like them, put them
Put it
down.
down.
Put
Oh
it
my
down.
God.
Walk away. It's
Yes.
okay.
Yes,
Not
nobody
everything
mind.
is for you, you
Not
know?
everything is for the internet, people. Come on. Some
Yeah.
things just
Yeah, I've seen you don't have to put every opinion out on the internet. Me and
no.
Jess have a lot of opinions that are not recorded.
We also have some recorded, but you'll never hear those.
Never hear them. No. So someday they'll crack out the vault. If
When
there's
I'm
like,
older and grayer.
yeah, there's some massive bust up we have. I've got all this blackmail material.
Actually, I've got none. There's a
You've
flaw
got none.
here.
I've got it all. I'm the evil villain in this scenario.
Oh, which is really, oh, there you go. There's the twist.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, could it's kind of like yellow face or something. Anyway. Oh, which brings me to what have you been reading? We can be
What
vague in case
we
we
can.
cover them
Well,
in seasons, but just generally.
it is an author I've mentioned before, and I just sort of stumbled upon this, and I was like, oh, it's a new one. I am reading, or I have to read. I have The Midnight Arrow by Zoe Draven, which I think is
Uh-huh.
kind of a new bit that's coming out from
Yeah,
the
yeah.
monstery bits that she had. So I'm very much looking
Oh,
forward to getting
okay.
into that.
Yeah.
What about
Oh, see, that's
yourself?
quite cool. We can, yeah. There will
Yes,
be people we've talked about, and we try and avoid talking too many
too
times.
much.
Some authors you just cannot help, but
Oh,
they crop up again and again
so
because
good. Mm,
what can we do? Yeah, my reading's been a bit all over the place, really. Obviously, I've done like arcs and recommendations for this series for
hmm
like a guest and everything. But I've done like historical fiction, YA. I've done a contemporary. I've done like a literary short story as well. I did The Bloody Chamber. I read that for the first
Nice.
time. So yeah, it's been a bit all over the place.
I
But
was gonna say, have you found more hours in days
I
somehow
don't
to fit
know.
all
I
of this
mean,
stuff
maybe
in?
maybe it's more hours, maybe it's less sleep, maybe it's not doing as much of the things that I'm supposed to be doing. That's very
Fine.
likely. Not as much writing as I should have been doing, possibly. That's often the
Yeah, we
case.
just gloss over that. That's that
Yeah.
again. That will come up every month. How much writing have you done?
I definitely had an afternoon where I was supposed to sit down and write, and I was like, yeah, but I've only got like a few chapters left in that book, so I've got to finish it.
And
Otherwise, I
I've
won't be
only
able to
got an hour.
concentrate.
Yeah, I've only got an hour. I can't get loaded in an hour. I can
No,
turn my computer on
no,
and drink my coffee. That's
that's
about
it.
it.
Mm. I saw someone that I follow on TikTok. He's a writer, and he said he felt really good because he'd written like 2,000 words in a session, and that's a good session for him. He was really
Jeez, fair
happy, and
play.
he was like, I'm going to give myself a treat and read now. And he was like, wouldn't it be fun if I like read 2,000 words? Because I wrote 2,000 words, and then he was like, and then I realized it's only like eight
Yeah,
pages.
yeah.
And I replied, this is why I like words better than maths. Because
God,
it's like,
yeah,
don't go thinking about stuff like
yeah,
that.
yeah. When you break it down, it's just it's not. It's like when
But
we go
then,
shopping and the kids are
mm,
like, oh, there's 20% off this. I was like, oh, that seems like a lot. It never is.
it's not. It's
No,
not when, yeah, no. It, mm, no discounts are any good.
no,
Also, you won't get it because you don't have the loyalty card. You think
no.
you're going to get it. You go round buying all the stuff, and then you're
Yeah,
like, have you got a loyalty card? No.
no.
Oh, do I have to get it now?
Yeah.
And add
And we'll have
another
to
one.
email you the receipt to do it. It's like, no, I have so many emails anyway. You're not emailing me receipts. Any shops?
Yeah.
No.
I know. I've had to be clearing out my inbox because of running out of space, and it keeps wanting me to pay to have more space, and I'm not doing that.
No.
I'm not paying for more space.
No.
So it's like, right, I've got to delete emails. Oh my God, all
Mhm.
these emails. What are they doing? Why do I need them? I don't. I'm starting trying to unsubscribe from tons of like mailing lists that I don't recall signing up to as
Well,
well.
saying this, I do. I have so many people with in the book world, which we'll talk about later,
Yeah.
that I get so many emails from them, and I tend to keep those because I want to remember what was what, when, and how. So then
Yeah.
I'm,
Yeah.
oh,
That's my problem. I
mm,
open it. Oh, I'll come back to that
I'll keep
later.
that.
If I actually need it, it ends up getting flagged so I can find it
Mm.
and do the thing. This has nothing to do with books, really.
No,
Um,
no, we digress.
we
So there's a word I
digress.
want you sent me a word that I've loved
Did I
that
send
you
you?
wanted to talk about.
What word was it?
Starts with an S. You sent me a picture of the word.
Oh my God. Blank. Gone completely blank.
Spreaduary.
Spreaduary. Yes. Yes. In the works. They have decided to call February Spreaduary, which is a
Which, for
choice.
obvious reasons, we can see why.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
I am loving it. Their marketing team need cake or
I mean they know who they're who they're aiming that at, don't they? The people
Do it.
that are going in there for
Oh,
their romance and their romantasy books and
mm.
stuff. Because those are the ones that are probably going to have the spreads.
Yes, yes,
And
they
it's
are.
not, I've not seen crime books with spreads. I don't think this is a thing. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
I know. Oh, I'd imagine you could put some interesting pictures on them, but yeah.
Yeah. I don't go into the works very often, though.
Do you not? Is that because you don't have enough bookshelves or money or arms to carry all the books down?
Uh, Kind of, yeah. It's because when I go, because it's in like the nearest town, we tend to go as a family, and then I get family pressure for not buying more books,
Mm.
really. Um, yeah. So I haven't seen it, but I might try and have a little wander in there and see what they've got going on for Spreadery. Might just open all the books really
Just leave them
suggestively
there.
on the shelf underneath the sign where they've got Spreadery.
Oh,
Take some googly eyes and put some googly eyes.
oh, seriously, you need to do that. Take the other half and just film.
It's like that really terrible picture of Elf on the Shelf that I sent you with Batman. Do you remember? That's what comes to mind with
Yeah.
Spreadery.
Oh,
Yeah, I can't unsee it
yeah.
now.
Yeah. No, once you've seen it, it's done. It's there.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh.
Um, yeah, so we've got Spreadery, we've yeah, the whole dragon smut scenario we've kind of covered.
Mm.
Obviously there was the big thing about TikTok disappearing from the US
For how many
for
hours
a
was it?
few
Even
hours.
13?
But I
Unlucky for
think we're
some.
gonna cover that a little bit more in a like topical month episode. Yeah, topic of the month episode, because we're going to cover book communities in that,
Mm-hmm.
and that will definitely be relevant
Be a
to
big,
that.
big
So
thing in that.
again, another big topic we're just going to sweep away so
Yeah.
that we can talk about
Under the carpet.
inappropriate things and our email inboxes.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so the one thing that I noticed, again, I don't know
Hmm.
if it's because it's sort of the new year has come and we're sort of getting into the flow of it a little
Uh-huh.
bit. Okay, so it's gonna sound a bit weird, but I've seen a lot of people on my TikTok going, okay, we know we love these books, we know these good big bestsellers are out there, but people need to start picking smaller books to do the reviews on and kind of
Yeah.
giving the love out. I think we've probably discussed it loads of times, but yeah, giving the love out to just picking out occasionally just
Yeah.
littler books that are out in the world because we know you get your followers from doing the big books that are really popular because they're good books. That's fine, we get it. But yeah,
Yeah. I mean, I think that's something we discuss as well, isn't it? We kind of
yes.
like we know that if we talk about a book like Akatar or something, you're going to
Mm-hmm.
have a lot of people know it and have read it and know what you're talking about, um, and are interested in hearing what you have to say about it because they have their own opinions. Um, so it's kind of mixing it up, isn't it? And
Yeah.
it's natural to want to read the books that everyone's talking about too, because there must be something that's, appealing to everybody in
Mm.
those books. And I get curious kind of like on a on a writing level. I'm like, okay, so what's
Yeah.
what's the
What
catnip in this
makes it?
book
Yeah.
that's doing it? And I have to say sometimes I don't understand. I will pick it up and
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure. I'm like, oh, okay, so what is it? And popular books sometimes can be that I think there's like a sense of familiarity to it. And especially if you've read a lot across that subgenre, you'll be like, oh, well, this isn't really doing anything particularly new. But if you're new into the subgenre, it's
Mm.
like all these things are great and they're doing them in a very clear and enjoyable way. So I
Yeah.
think
You're
sometimes
ticking all
that's
the
what it
boxes.
is. But
Mm.
it's different for all different ones. I don't know.
Well, this
But
is it.
yeah,
We've
supporting the little books
yeah,
is
it works. Well, it helps get the other books out there as well. It kind of
well
it
kind of what
feeds
I've been
everybody.
doing on threads since I started the threads because you barely get any like interaction. I don't know
Yeah,
what you have
it's
to
not a
post.
chattier place. Yeah.
You have to be posting all the time or put something really inflammatory so that
Yeah,
people
let's
will.
not do that.
We don't want to do that. So what I've kind of been doing is looking at what comes up in like the kind of for you feed. And because I've been doing it, there'll be people that are asking, "Oh, I'm looking for a book with this particular thing or a fantasy
Mm,
romance with this vibe." And because we've got this like raft of books that we've read, I'm just diving in there with the recommendations and for those little specific things or those little
mm.
vibes. So there was like someone asking about um books for, oh, she was saying, am I too old to be reading these books because I'm
No,
like 35? And I was like,
no,
no, first
shush.
off.
No.
And secondly, if you want to feel a little bit better, try some T. Kingfisher. You know, she has older protagonists and stuff
Yes.
like that. And then there was someone else that was looking for books where the female main character has like a chronic illness and stuff. And we've covered some things like
Yeah,
that. So
yeah, yeah.
it's like that's kind of, yeah, you're able, you get like the little niches and stuff and you find such gems. There's
Yes.
really so many amazing books out there and they're not.
Oh, it's the best day when you stumble upon a book and then you find the back catalogue of
Oh
everything. It's like,
yeah,
oh my
yeah.
God.
I mean, my joy with the Mages of the Wheel series for the last season. Like,
Hmm.
here's the first book. Oh my God, this is amazing. There's three more books.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, that was
heaven.
my Zoe Draven thing. It was like I found a Horde King and then
Yeah.
that was always just
Oh,
there.
it's a bit
Ever.
overwhelming when they've got that many,
Oh,
because you're like,
challenge accepted.
but it's that nice thing of like, especially when you're in a reading slump and you're like, you found this author and you're like, okay, I'm gonna dip in, I'm gonna, go back to that series now
Yes.
and continue. Yeah.
Who needs sleep?
Who
Not
needs
I.
sleep? No, well, I really, really do need sleep, sadly.
Books aren't going to read themselves.
No, no, they're not. Um, yeah. So there was an Audible advert right at the beginning of January, and it was in a couple of places. And to begin with, it looked like it was just a bit of fun, but they've done like two or three of these things where they're kind of advocating for not reading it on a faster speed and saying like, oh, you're a psychopath if you listen on a high speed, which upset a lot of people. And the
Yeah,
first advert, it was like, well, clearly they're just exaggerating,
yeah,
for
hopefully.
laughs, like the person. But then they did like, I saw like an Instagram ad where it was like, do like, like the more of this, less of this kind of thing for
Yes.
the new year. And it was like more of listening at one time speed so you can really take it in and less listening at fast speeds. And I was like, that seems a really bad marketing
Yes.
ploy for Audible. Like,
You have one group of people that will buy your product and you're just gonna
and the people that are
antagonize them.
really like tend to listen to audiobooks a lot do tend to listen to them fast.
Yeah, they get it in
Everybody
there.
I've spoken to who has said like, "Oh, give them a try." They always say try them at a little bit faster than
Yes.
one speed because like,
It takes a long time to get through an
yeah.
audiobook.
And
It's kind
surely
of,
like the quicker people get through the book, more books they're going to buy
yeah,
off
they're
of you,
gonna get on the
Audible.
next one.
What's going on?
Oh,
Didn't think that. Unless they're just going for the rage bait, you know.
both work.
This is a lot of marketing
Mm.
technique these days, it seems. We just piss everyone off. Doesn't matter, they'll still buy the books because we've got the monopoly. So,
I was gonna say, it's like, I'll be mad at you, but with my earphones in listening to a book.
I mean, the argument would be you don't need to piss people off then if you're not
Yeah,
worried,
no,
but just keep the marketing money.
well, it's January. You'll obviously need more books. Audible. That's
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Turn over a new leaf for this year. Listen to audiobooks.
bless them.
Mm.
Oh,
Um, yeah,
so
and then
I'm
there
out.
was you out of stuff. I've
Yeah, I'm
got
out of my list.
I've got an annoying one, which was the AI book that was in the top 50 of Kindle.
Mm, mm,
Jess is like, don't want to
mm.
touch that one. Don't want to
Nah, I
touch
just
that one.
yeah. There's just so many other things they could be doing with it other than taking jobs from people. It's kind of
There really are. They really are. But did you see how it came back? Because they left the comment in. It was the Chat
no.
GPT thing. But then obviously it caused another problem, which was everybody rushed to see that it was in there. So again, this might have been
Oh,
a
yeah,
very clever
perfect marketing.
marketing ploy.
Jesus.
Yeah, because it works, doesn't it? I remember when there was like after COVID and there was that book about um the woman and the coronavirus.
Yes. And
Just
everybody went to have a look.
everybody went to have a look. You don't, you have to do the bare minimum as long as you've got something that's going to make people interested enough, whether it's through rage or not. And all you've got to do yourself, I suppose, is just turn off the internet and go and look at your bank account and count the pennies that are coming in, I guess, and you'll feel okay about
Yeah.
it.
Nobody's doing that though.
No. Well, I don't know. I think some people are.
Ugh. But saying that, I've randomly off. I was checking my emails today, and everybody's like, "It's payday, buy things. It's payday, buy things." I'm like, "Oh God, no! Delete,
No.
delete."
It's January. We've waited a long time
It's
for the
been that,
money.
yeah. January's taken 90 years. What's the thing in Titanic? 84
It's been
years.
84 years. Yeah. That's always in my head
Yeah,
whenever anything's
gosh.
a long time.
Oh no, done with
Um,
that.
well, the only other thing was, God, I've gone so croaky. We're not
Because we've
used to
not done this for a
this. We've
while.
not done this for a
Not
while.
used
My
these.
my vocal cords are out of whack. Been reading too much, not talking to
Yeah.
people. Um, it was the Twilight Lego set that
Oh
came out.
yes, you did send me that. Oh God. I
Well,
don't.
yeah.
Oh, was it one of the builder ones? I didn't check properly, but it's just there were
It
so many
didn't.
questions I have. Just
It's interesting and like thinking about it because I was like, I was going to ask you what books would you want? Like, obviously, romance books
yeah.
to have a
I,
Lego set.
my
God,
my brain would go to something just because
really
it's
wrong.
our favorite. Yeah, like Den of Vipers, just because.
They got like
Just
my daughter's got like a little sword. Her friend came over and they love Lego and they did like swapsies and he gave her like this samurai sword.
yeah,
And
no,
it's
no.
like
If you know where that's going.
you can
But
hinge them really, really well, the Lego people as
it
well.
would definitely be needed.
It would definitely be needed. Um, yeah.
Well, that's where my mind went. But I'd
That's where
imagine you'd
your
want
mind went.
something a bit more cozy, like a cottage or something would be nice.
Well, that
Or
was the thing. I thought about the fact that they've got that really cool Hocus Pocus set, haven't they?
yes,
And they've also already done Lord of the Rings. So they've got all the stuff for kind of like
yes, probably.
fantasy-esque. So
Hmm.
for me, it'd be like, I think the Cruel Prince series would have some really
Ooh,
nice
that would be
little
quite cool.
sets. Because there's like giant toads that they ride and stuff like this. And, you know,
Yes.
it's like some awesome stuff. And like the big trees and all the roots and things. So I
Oh,
think that'd be cool. And
come
of
on,
course,
Lego.
there's again daggers. Jude can have her daggers and she can.
Do
You'd
what
have
she
like a
wishes to do.
little one of Ghost, like hiding, because you know on Lego sets they like the big ones. They like to have little details that are hidden
Yes.
around.
Oh, I don't know if you say I have my Nightmare Before Christmas one over there, and you can take the roof
Ah,
off and go
yeah,
inside, and there's a
that's
little
it.
scientific method book, and there's a little Christmas
Exactly.
wreaths
That's
and stuff.
it.
It's
They have
really
such
sweet.
lovely little touches. And there's like a secret passage in Crawl Prince as well, so you could like build in
Oh,
those
build it to the
in the
next one.
palace and stuff. And then there's like an underwater set as well for the second book. So I might contact them.
Do you know the builder thing that you can actually go on and make your own? Just a suggestion, Emma.
Can you? Oh yeah, yeah.
Yes, yes,
No,
that's
I
what they're.
I don't. Dan would be good. I could send Dan and
You
one
get
of
your
the
little
kids
picture
on.
in the book as well. You get the little book and it tells you who's
Oh,
made it and when they came up with the idea. It's really cool.
yeah.
There you go.
Maybe another lifetime.
Mm,
Yeah. So I think that was everything that was news that we could bear to talk about,
yes,
probably.
in the detail that we wish to. Yes. If the other things
Yeah.
are out there, go find them. And if you want to come and have a rant with us, please feel free.
Yeah. Um, and then there was just with February books. And have you seen any books coming out that you've like been, oh, that's coming out this month and it might be of interest to our audience, or
Um,
that you really, really want?
well, there is a series that I mentioned to you, and as to whether I should mention them, because it could be something we use later on in the film. But there is a series that
Okay.
I've been sat on. I've read the first one, and I have the
Okay.
rest lined
Oh,
up.
you
But
might have to tell me that then
yeah, I have to
later.
tell you that later. But there is one, and if we don't use it, I'll mention it in the next month's
Okay.
one. But yes, I've been chomping at the bit to get to it.
Oh, well, that
Mm.
sounds good.
Mm.
I've just got one that's coming out on 18th of February, which is by an author we've already mentioned on the podcast, Kimberly Lemming. And
Yes.
it's I
Oh,
Got Abducted by Aliens and Now I'm Trapped in a Rom-Com. She has the best titles.
she really does.
And
They're
I
talking about
think,
the works. My kids saw that in the
oh,
works,
yeah.
and they're like,
Oh, did
"What
they?
is it? Well, she's yeeted what? A what?"
Yeah. Um, I think as well, the great thing about that one is it's a love triangle that turns into a white shoes.
Hey, this is it. I am here for all of
She
this.
knows what she's doing. She
Knows
knows
the
what the
order.
people want.
Marketing 101.
Yes. That's the nice marketing. That's the good
Oh,
stuff, delivering the goods. So
2025
yeah.
will be the year.
So 18th, that's coming
Yes.
out if anyone is
I've
after
definitely
it.
got a book now then.
Yeah. So I think that's it for book
That's it.
chat. We
Yes.
shall wrap that up. And then our next episode, episode 3, is going to be again the second part of our interview with our
Mm,
guest about
yes.
her guest pick. So,
Hmm. It's
what
very
date is
exciting.
that? Yes, I don't think I've written down the dates. Oh, no, I have. Look at that.
18th. 18th.
Yes, the 18th as well. So
Oh,
get your book and then listen, like you could
get your
listen to us
coffee.
on the
Have a chat,
way
listen.
to going to
To
buy your
walk in to
book
read your book.
or do whatever you want because, it's
Well,
your
yeah,
life.
yeah, no judgment. What's it?
Yeah.
What was people saying? Yeah,
Oh,
we
we
thingy,
listen, we
we
don't
don't
judge.
judge. Yes,
Listen, we don't judge. I
yes.
mean, technically, I listen, I judge secretly,
We judge quietly.
but not, yeah. You can't help but judge, I think.
Yeah. I
Everybody
think you judge
judges.
and then you come away and then you go, actually, doesn't matter. I don't really care to
I
know.
do that a
Yeah.
lot as I'm
Yeah.
getting older. And,
I think it's
but
the time we were born, though. That was kind of just everybody judged everybody in the 80s into the 90s. And then people suddenly learnt that actually,
yeah,
it's not great.
there's that. And I think also it's just a natural part of human nature because, as you know, you have tween to teen girls
Hmm.
and
I
you can
do.
see it. It just comes on this I am of this age, which means that everybody else is doing stupid stuff and is being embarrassing. The judgment level goes high,
Yeah, through the
and you're
roof.
just working over the years to become a reasonable human being again.
Yeah. I was going to say it has to kick in at some point, but then what you do for a very small margin of time, and then you kind of go back again and judge even more when you get a bit older, I think so.
Possibly, but like you say,
Yeah.
maybe that's where generationally we will hopefully make
Hopefully.
a little bit of a change. I hope
Yeah.
so.
Yes. Well,
Yes.
we're trying one day at a time.
It feels like we've winding up on what was that American program that everyone loved with that there was a Tom Hanks film about it. He was like the neighbor.
No idea.
Oh, I don't know. I'm gonna have to think of it.
We'll
It feels
figure it.
like or like a Sesame Street type of like that's our word for the day is don't judge. It's
Yeah.
more of a phrase.
Yes. Be compassionate. Don't judge.
Only
It's all
secretly
good.
judge.
Yeah.
Right. We shall see you next week.
We shall do. Have a good one.